let-
But that's all right. It's me and you. We got a special kind of friendship.
I am not your friend.
Sure you are. Fishing buddy?
I was going to do a special intro. Hold on, before we carry on this argument.
no. I just want to be to express that how grateful and thankful I am that you're in my life, because by tolerating you, I think I have attained my place in heaven.
There you go.
Yeah.
There are many uses for me in life. One of them is teaching people patience and tolerance. So we're arguing for the show about the metric system again, and because I was in the military in particular, we focus on doing the metric system a lot of the time, and
9mm.
but they were talking about how it's such a better form of measurement. And I said, the metric system is only good when it's time to measure a micro penis because it sounds bigger in centimeters. And they fucking hate me. They hate me.
No, not yet.
Oh, I have way too much fun with my humor. Let's see. What do we got going here in the chat so far? We got Gambit here first at 158. For Christ's sakes, man. That's way too early.
Hey, he has a name to protect.
Gert. Gert sounds like a condition that you have. Like, I've heard of goiters. It's like, oh, yeah, they had to check my thyroid. Apparently, I've got a little Gert.
Now, it sounds like a really weird burping.
Yeah, weird burping. Hi, Gambit. Hi, Snorty. Hello. Of course, Ann Rose here. What's up, buddy? We got my dear old friend Shirley is here. And we're going to be talking today about really one of my favorite films of all time. It is in my top 10 favorite films of all time, is To Live and Die in L.A. This movie hit me in so many different ways. And I went opening weekend. I went on a Friday. I got off of work, went straight to the theater to go see this. And my God, this movie blew me the fuck away. And it was so different from anything else I'd ever seen. And you've got an action thriller, but it's restrained. And instead, it trades the action for intensity and tension. And I just fucking love this movie for that. Davey Dread's here too. What's up, Davey? Everybody ready to have fun tonight? It's time to Wang Chung tonight. One of the few bands that was able to put its name in a hit song. I'm like going, I remember when it came out, and I'm like, what the fuck does Wang Chung even mean? I don't know enough Chinese to fucking know that. So, like, what do they mean by it? I liked Wang Chung. I liked Dance All Days. Yeah. One of my favorite songs. I just fucking love the crazy epileptic seizure-inducing video they did with that. Do you remember that video?
No.
Where they kept flashing between people's faces really quickly in one spot, and I'm like going, I'm like, well, I've been wondering if I have epilepsy. I guess this is where I find out.
Well, to be honest, I have never seen a music video from them. I have heard, I have listened to their music, but music video, no.
Absolutely. By the way, Davey Dread is here too. What's up, Davey? Yeah. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Oh, Slasher Fred just dropped in. Slasher Fred and Penny. Hi, guys. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm serious. Let's get to this comment here. William Friedkin came back to form after several years from a hiatus with cruising. I actually showed the trailer to Anima for a couple of Friedkin films, including Killer Joe, which I like that movie. It's an odd, dark comedy. And I got to tell you, man, McConaughey is fucking scary in that movie.
He is.
He's fucking scary.
First time I saw him as a bad guy.
Because you haven't seen him yet really go into Killer Joe's personality, his psychopathy. It's a good film. But William Friedkin came back after several years from hiatus from Cruising. And Cruising, boy, that did not go over well. It lost money in the end. They made more than the budget, but the studio was hurt by that movie, and they ended up pulling it early. Some theaters just pulled it. They didn't order it. The studio didn't. Some theaters pulled it because of some of the backlash on it. And
it was a bad idea. It was just a bad idea to make.
Well, when you think about it, that would be an interesting book to read. The story of a serial killer that's attacking gay men in the gay community. He's
a certain type.
Is he gay himself? And he's looking for specific types that have the same build as Al Pacino's character. But Al Pacino begins to cross a line in the story. Like he becomes too caught up in that crazy gay lifestyle. And we're talking about the classic gay lifestyle of going out every fucking night, cruising to get sex. And it's not like you say that to a gay man and they feel offended by it. It's like, no, it's part of the reality of that gay lifestyle, that they wanted to go out there and get quick sex. And that's what, got George Michael in trouble, if you remember. And he got caught cruising in a bathroom, in a toilet stall, for God's sakes, and busted for it. It's part of that gay lifestyle that they did that shit. And Cruising didn't want to focus so much at that at first. It's more the cop, a procedural about a cop having to pretend to be a part of a community so they can find this killer. And but in the process of it, there's a lot of violence in it, and a lot of it's directed from the cops to a lot of those in the gay community, and the gay community fucking hated that. And I'm like, yeah, but it's telling a truth. And they didn't like it because they thought it was promoting that. And it's like, no, it's not promoting that. It's fucking horrifying. But at the time, that was the general reaction. And then, of course, you've got the history of the Karen movement in this country, started really by mothers. Mothers were the worst because you can thank them for beginning the destruction of cartoons.
They have tried to take us TV, movies, and video games through this.
They're the ones who got Tom and Jerry pulled off TV for a while. And because of all the slapstick violence, the Three Stooges. They went after all of that shit. That was back in 1977. I remember when that shit happened. I got so excited because I was overseas. And they had, I was in Ireland, and they were showing classic Tom and Jerry. Like, I'm sitting in this cafe with my dad, and I'm glued to the TV going, oh, man, it feels like forever. It's been like months since I'd seen Tom and Jerry, but they had the classic violent Tom and Jerry cartoons. And Ireland hadn't been impacted by that shit. America was polluted by William Friedkin. What are you showing me?
Look at this comment. Andron is discovering.
Oh, Andron's. Oh shit, calling you out, man.
Yeah. He lives on Wikipedia.
I gotta tell you, Gambit is an essential part of our chat. I fucking love his stuff, but he also loves the fact that we call him out on shit. He gets a kick out of being called out on stuff because a lot of it he does on purpose. Like he'll say something blatantly obvious that we already just said, and he'll act like he's the first person saying it, and he's doing it just to be a dick. And that's why I like him. I like people who are dickish. I like assholes. They're my favorite kind of people to hang out with.
Yep, I know.
Yep. So,
boss, I'll need to go. I'll be back in, I hope, 10 minutes tops.
Yeah, no problem, because we got to finish that conversation.
Oh yeah, I'm dying for it, man. I love it.
All right, so I'll go ahead and start it because I went to see this movie in the theater back in '85, and I was just fucking shocked when we got to that scene in the locker room, and they have the shootout, and I was just like, what the fuck? I mean, I went back in my seat. I had my Casio. It was a 1983 Casio that had, the right top button that you push on it. And I like pushed the button in so I could see what time it was. And I'm like, man, there's like over 10 minutes left of this movie. I can't kill the protagonist. You can't do that. And then I remembered, oh, yeah, he can, because they did the same thing with Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho when they killed Janet Leigh in the first act. It's like, holy shit. And so you switch from the protagonist you started with to the other protagonist, and they do the same thing at the end of this film. So your two protagonists in the film are Richard Chance, played by William Petersen, and you've got John Pankow playing John Vukovich. And Vukovich ends up being the final protagonist of the film.
Because he has to take over.
He takes over. He takes the place of his buddy. And there was an alternate version of the film ending shot, because the studio was in a panic mode when they saw his cut, where William Petersen dies 10 minutes before the movie ends. And it's like, you can't do that. Audiences will revolt, we'll lose money. And he's like, well, okay, I'll shoot a separate scene. So he shot it where William Petersen gets hit in the chest and he falls to the floor, slumped over, looking dead. And his partner trying to revive him. Hey, man. It fades, and it fades into a news report. And in the news report is this guy talking about this major counterfeiting thing led by an artist who was killed during the takedown of his printing factory. And the news reporter eventually turns, and we see someone we've never met before in the movie, who is apparently one of the bosses of William Petersen's character. And he's taking credit for like organizing this whole thing. And they, we gave the order, shoot to kill, and blah, blah, blah. And
they're covering up what really happened.
And they're taking credit for and covering up what really happened. And the camera keeps pulling back, and now we're no longer looking at this like we're watching TV. We're now looking at a TV. The camera pulls back, and we see young Vukovich with a big old fucking Eskimo type, Alaska type hot coat on. And it's a very plain looking room. Everything looks broken in this room. The heater's all bent in, and you see "Welcome to Siberia" written on a little sign above the TV. And he turns and looks over his shoulder, and there behind him is William Petersen's character, quite alive, but he's laying on a sofa all covered up to here, watching the news with him. And you keep hearing the report, and then you slowly see a smile come across his face of satisfaction. And then he kind of kicks his head back and starts to go to sleep. And you continue hearing the report, and now we go outside the building. We see that this building is a single room concrete building on the top of a mountain with a radio tower that is a Secret Service outpost in Anchorage, Alaska. And then we see a printout on the screen about how these two there weren't enough slots available in Los Angeles, so these two have been reassigned to Alaska. And then you hear some great fucking music from Wang Chung start, but it's got that classic. And I loved what William Petersen said about it. Tell him what he said, Anima.
He said that would have been the Eddie Murphy ending.
That was the Eddie Murphy ending, referencing both 48 Hours and Beverly Hills Cop. And it's like, and when you hear that in your head the first time, and then you see the scene, you're like, oh my God, that really is a Beverly Hills Cop ending. It so betrays everything that you saw before. And Friedkin shot it for the studio, and then he got final say.
Knowing it would be bad.
And he said, it's a terrible idea. We're sticking with what I made. And the studio went, okay. and they were nervous. They were scared shitless. But the movie, it made bank. It made over double its budget.
By the way, the excuse for putting them in Alaska was a shortage of people in Alaska, so they had to go there.
A shortage there and not enough slots available in Los Angeles, so they had to cover it. But really, they were sent there to be punished, which is interesting if you think about it plot-wise, is that they got away with what they did, sort of. They're not going to prison, you know?
Yeah, but they're not going anywhere else either. They're stuck in the snow until they're
stuck up there for a while, until they either quit or make friends with just the right person and network out of there. But I love that Wayne Chung did the soundtrack for this. They didn't do a theme for the film, but they had a soundtrack. It was actually the album at the time. The entire second side of that is the soundtrack for this movie. And then, of course, they have like multiple songs from it, which you also hear not only the song they wrote for the movie, To Live and Die in LA, they also have their song, Dance Hall Days, in the movie, which I really like that song. This was a breakout role for Willem Dafoe. I didn't know who the fuck this guy was. And he was so weird looking to me, because this was the first movie I ever saw him in. And I'm like, who is this guy? And his intensity is so fucking good. And what's really interesting is he's the main protagonist in the film, okay? But he's a shade of gray antagonist, because you kind of like him, but he's a murderer. I mean, he killed his partner at the beginning, his retiring partner, murdered him and left him in a fucking dumpster. And he, his line to him right before he shoots him: wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, that was so cold.
That's a good excuse for fucking murdering a person. And it's just got this really, right from the get-go, it's got kind of a dark feeling to it. And William Friedkin is really one of my favorite modern directors. And when I say modern, anything from 1965 forward to today, that's modern filmmaking. And Friedkin is really my favorite modern director, even though if you ask me my top 5 favorite films of all time were Ridley Scott and John Carpenter. But I loved William Friedkin's direction. And this is something Anna and I talked about before, the difference between being a filmmaker and being a director. And Friedkin was a director. He really knew how to get what he needed to get done. And he was often one shot, one take. That's it.
One take and done. Yeah.
It's done. I remember they did one scene where they're walking out of the bar, and he's going to get him his fishing rod gift for his retirement, him and his best friend. And that whole scene, they walked out. That was a rehearsal to them. They were practicing. They walked out, did the scene perfectly, and Friedkin was filming, and he says, okay, that's a wrap. And he goes, wait, that was a take? They were like, wait, we could probably do that better. He goes, no, it was perfect. It worked. Your characters were more real, believable the way you did that, because you were nervous talking.
He also kept the camera rolling after they were done, so they just continued.
Yeah.
And Petersen said they just continued making their own movie, and he kept a lot of that stuff because it felt natural.
Yeah, it's just two guys being two guys with each other.
Like the scene with the suitcase where he smacks the suitcase against the pillar and it gets open. And
the base of the pillar. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't meant to be like that. And he just grabbed the phone book and threw it at the other guys. That was improv. That
was all improvised. Some of the classic music videos were basically homages to many classic movies, like Michael Jackson's Bad was done as a tribute to West Side Story. Paula Abdul's Cold Hearted was to All That Jazz. I never liked Paula Abdul's voice, but I did like her music. And she's fun to watch when she dances. She's a hell of a dancer.
She has her own style, yeah.
Well, she taught, she was Janet Jackson's main choreographer. Dafoe was more than merely intense. He could knock one's socks off the minute you laid your eyes on him. Well, it's that no matter what, even when he's at calm, there's an intensity to his calm. Just something about Dafoe, the way he holds his face, the steely way he looks at people. The best friend was Albert Brooks' boss in Lost in America. Oh, I love that movie too, Lost in America. The guy who wants to send him to New York. And our hairpiece secret is over. I love that retort from Brooks' character to him. That was a good movie, man. I've thought about that film a lot because there are two films that kind of get conflated in my head. Is Lost in America, and then there's a Richard Benjamin film where he did something similar. And I'm like, but I think it was made for TV, and those two films get conflated in my head. But I like that movie. Albert Brooks is another one of those actors that I like when he makes a film. And yeah, he's a director, but I actually like him as an actor. See, and I love how the camera begins to flash forward the city like double speed. Well, there's a lot of little camera things that he does in this film that I really like. And one of the big ones is in the big chase scene. And we'll talk about it more when we get to it, because he told Buddy, the stunt director, he told him, hey man, if we can't outdo what I did with French Connection, it's not going to be in the movie. Period. And by the way, I talked to Anna about some of the legal troubles they had with this movie, because I knew this back in the 80s. I remember reading about that shit.
Well, showing how to counterfeit money, yeah.
You weren't even legally allowed to photograph money. This is the first movie that did it. And it led to the Secret Service really being up their ass while making this movie. And William Petersen said at one point when they were out there in that place printing fake money, they heard helicopters coming. Not helicopters coming to see what they were doing. And that guy right there, that's the prop master for the film. And he got taken in multiple times by the Secret Service. And finally, he went to Friedkin, and he's like, hey, man, they keep arresting me and taking me to question me. And Friedkin says, well, tell him to charge you or let you go next time. And he's like, what? This is a federal crime. There's none of that charge you or let you go thing. I don't want to say that to them. I don't want to be charged.
That must have been terrifying, because they were out in the desert working on the scenes where they show how the money got printed. And all of a sudden they had to hear helicopters. Yeah, they were actually doing it. Then they could hear helicopters. That must have been terrifying.
And he had an expert on set that helped them do the how to show how it's done. And they showed that. In fact, when you see Willem Dafoe spreading all the ink and shit, that's actually not Willem Dafoe's hands. That's the expert's hands. Even though they do splice in some shots of you see him like working on one of the I wanted to call it the master for the printing. It's the master that will eventually be acetated onto the metal later to create the printing press. And you see him actually working on it. But the fact is, all the close-ups are not Dafoe. That is all the experts showing how it's done. So you're actually seeing a real counterfeiter doing what he was.
Ex-counterfeiter.
Former
counterfeiter, yeah. Well, they both did it. The counterfeit guy did it, and then Dafoe did the whole thing, and then they just cut it together.
And this whole opening scene, by the way, I'm pausing it so we can talk about this so I can show you something. And the whole scene here is they're on the Reagan detail. And Reagan was at an event here at this building, this hotel. And their job was to make sure the other areas of the hotel were safe where he was going to be staying. And it leads to a fucking S-sidal bomber. And they catch him on the roof. And eventually his partner here climbs up the outside of the building and grabs the guy by the leg and pulls him off the roof before he can detonate. And they both end up surviving. And he goes,
he detonates falling down. It's crazy.
Yeah. And it leads to the great, lethal weapon line. I'm getting too old for this shit. And that's when you realize he's retiring. But I wanted to go into the printing thing because this is the older one. And this is the classic. And I was always impressed with the beauty of the artwork on these things. In fact, on the many of the bills, you find little animals up in the webbing around, the framing of this. And one of them I showed to Animal was the little spider on the $5 bill, which is great. But the thing I loved about this one was the back, and it led to one of my favorite jokes when I was younger, which is I remember it was an old Marine that did this to me. He says, and what's really neat is if you look really hard, you can find the hitchhiker on the back of the $10 bill right outside the treasury. Now, and I took my dad's glasses and put them on to magnify. And I'm sitting there like, I look at every single person on the back of this bill, and I can't find the hitchhiker. And I finally give up after about.
There is no hitchhiker.
Yeah, well, the joke is, I go, I can't find the hitchhiker. I don't see him anywhere. You don't see him in there? And he looks, and he goes, oh, I guess I got his ride. And I'm like, oh, you dick.
He's on the car. Don't you see?
Yeah, he's in the car. I guess he got his ride. I'm like, oh, what a dick move. So, hold on a second. We get some more comments here. Hey, Alpha's here and E. Clay Thomas. Yeah, I'm trying to say hi to him. Hi, what's up, guys? And let's see. Hey, what does this say? Hey, I'm walking here from Midnight Cowboy. Yep, that was not improv. That was him reacting to that fucking taxi cab almost hitting him. And he got angry. And if you notice, he lost his speech pattern. That's actually just Dustin Hoffman being Dustin Hoffman. And that's great. They kept it in the film because it's so good. I recall that line of Dustin's from Midnight Cowboy. Yeah, it's great. We are people. It's not the same thing as we are the people. Come on. Let's not fight. Taxi driver.
Why are we quoting different movies?
I don't know.
Because this is the show in which we do that.
Yeah.
No, this is a good movie and I want to talk about it.
Are very cool because I love the music video to this movie when they released it. It was really good. One of my favorites. To me, it was better than the trailer. You got so much more of the film. And of course, look at that classic 80s style of font.
That crazy font. Yeah, I love it.
I said this yesterday that there were 3 movies from the 80s, and there were Michael Mann and William Friedkin that pretty much solidified cinematically the 80s look. And then on top of that, you had a show that was executively produced by Michael Mann that laid the groundwork of what we still look back at the 80s as, which is Miami Vice. And it's so weird because there are so many other things from the 80s that you could really get that look from the 80s. But again, Willem Dafoe here plays, by the way, there's a video of him when he was younger and he appeared on a TV program. And this guy was kind of making fun of him. Was it David Letterman or was it Craig Ferguson? He says, what's up with your name, man? Because I have a video here, and he shows the video of him when he's younger saying, my name is Willem Dafoe. And is it Dafoe or Dafoe? I don't think you even know. So music video soundtracks cool because they include the footage to the film. Exactly. That's what I was talking about. Yeah. I love the music video to Live and Die in LA. And it was big for a bit. It didn't go that long, but it was on MTV, like on the rotation. So you could see it pretty much every hour of a day for a couple of weeks. Also, you can make a mushroom. Yes, I used to do that all the time, Alpha. I told Anima about it. And the other thing that's weird about Washington on the original $1 bill from when I was a kid, he looked just like my grandmother. It was really weird. Especially when her teeth were out. The Islam thing was prevalent around 1982-85. Oh, yeah, look, we've been at war with them since, well, Tripoli. People don't know that. We have been at war with extremists in the Islamic beliefs since Tripoli. Let's see. In fact, our first incursion on foreign land as a military, where we invaded, was Tripoli. Well, we had a precursor to it, if you remember that. Yeah, back in 2001. You got it. That's it, Gambit. We had that. Let's talk about Thief some more. And run
no.
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 Fuck no.
We
can revisit that movie next year, but
no,
we need to talk about this one.
No, it's Willem. It's Willem. Willem. And
have you noticed
how
William Petersen looks like he was cousin to Richard Dreyfuss?
He has the same hair and shape of face. He's also not tall. This scene here in particular is to let you know that this is a guy that likes to ride the ragged edge of disaster.
He's an adrenaline junkie.
He is an adrenaline junkie, exactly. Now, I will say that it is William Petersen. So you got that one right, Enron. Darlene Flugel.
Hey, Mike is here, but not here because he doesn't love us anymore.
He's too cool for us.
Yeah.
Too cool for school.
I miss hanging out with him, though.
Even though I only became friends with him out of pity.
You're not helping.
I love you, Mike. I'm just teasing. You've heard of pity fucks.
I disagree, Gambit. I don't think it's a must watch.
Gary,
well, look,
disavow.
Some people are not into it. I'm telling you. This is the scene I was talking about where they go walking out. This was done in one take. And that was it. And they didn't even know he was shooting.
Mike says, I take what I can get.
Oh, I see what you're saying. His birth name. Yeah. His stage name is Willem. And that's why I'm saying his name is Willem Dafoe. But yeah, I'm looking now. I see what you're talking about. It doesn't count.
William James.
But yeah, I know what you're saying now. I get you.
I get why he's doing that, though, because so many people are called William. He just wanted to stick out a bit, so.
And it's a cool name, I got to tell you. I got to tell you, I'm also a big fan of John Turturro. Also of his brother, man. His brother is such a cool dude. He was in an interview 2 nights ago that I saw, and he said something really interesting about Turturro, his brother, John. And I'm talking about Nicholas Turturro. And Nicholas was on this interview, and he said, he was talking shit about his brother. And so he had to make it clear, oh, man, I love my brother, man. He is the best. He's a great brother, and he's also a good friend. He's always been there for me. And he says this all after he slags on him a bit. And then the interviewer is like, well, wait a minute, but what are you saying? Why was he calling you fat? Because John said to him, Nicholas, he says, you could be such a bigger actor if you would just not be fat. You got to lose that weight. And the interviewer goes, you're not fat. He goes, I'm fatter than him.
Damn.
You got to understand, to my brother John, like, he doesn't like fat people. He says this. He doesn't like, he thinks there's something fundamentally wrong with people who are overweight. And he goes, and you'll see, and you'll have this happen to you if you meet him. He will hug you. But when he hugs you, his hands touch 2 spots on your body. Your love handle and your ass. As he's ending the hug, he'll hug you, touch, and then backs away. What he's doing is to see if you're fat. And if you're fat, he's not going to have anything to do with you. He'll only deal with you if he has to. He just has this weird thing about obese people. At least he used to. I don't know if this is still true, the guy.
Hey, we shame you into coming here. Good.
Yeah, that's how he works.
Did you like my joke about pity fucks?
My.
All you get, just the noise.
How you doing, buddy?
Wow, weird. As soon as I get on, there's a delay.
Are you there? Mike?
Yes, yeah. I can hear it.
Michael?
Talk to us.
Michael? Michael? Hello? I bet he's got his fucking settings wrong, and that's why he's clicking so much. He's trying to fix his settings.
Probably.
He can't hear us. Yeah, you know,
going on.
I don't want to say he's slow, but he took third place in an amputee 3-legged race.
Oh my God.
I
it's
did.
About.
I had to think of a joke there. That was all made up in my head.
I love you too, Gary.
And just like that, the show went completely gay.
So now I can ask you the question I asked you before, Michael. Did you like my joke about friending you sort of like the way women do pity fucks?
Yeah. And if I understood what you were saying right now, because of this terrible Canadian lag guy.
Oh, yeah. Canada's so fucked right now.
So because that's going on, and I'm interrupting you right now as you're talking, I'm going to leave right now. Bye.
Yeah. Bye, buddy.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later, man. Yeah, his connection sucks.
Yeah, I only got half what he said.
He's there in Canada stand, you know, so it sucks. I want him to come to America.
If only that was easy.
Well, you know, we have a Canadian YouTuber that I watch, and he made a great comment. He says, the problem with us Canadians is the fact that we have this reputation of being so polite that we let these things happen. He says, and that's not true. We've become soft that we allowed these things. So this is the scene where his partner's investigating Dafoe's printing warehouse, and it gets him killed. And it's kind of sad. And they just dump him in a trash can. I'm like, what are you, Daniel Craig's James Bond?
The worst thing is, why the hell are you going to that place alone?
No, it's stupid. Nobody would.
And insisting to be alone.
No agent would do that. It's kind of the bullshit aspect of this. You kind of have to accept that somehow.
And
by the way, I went and checked the dates on this, and it is 1984 and 85. The dates match up to 84 and 85. Because I went and got a calendar from that date to check the dates they show in the film, and it matches up perfectly. And I'm like, I like when they pay attention to details like that. So let's see. Let me get to the chat here. Yeah, the opening credits are awesome, Gambit. I agree. Mixing some red colors with the green. Absolutely. Freddy Krueger colors, man. Yeah, if you ever read the whole story on that, Gambit, it will blow your mind. How we don't have a legit movie about that is beyond me. That is so insane what they went and did and succeeded doing it. And then, once again, just like with Vietnam, betrayed by Congress. They defunded the war. You know, after we forced North Vietnam to the peace talks and they signed the treaty, then they defund the war. It was over. Fucking people. Anyway, Gary, I think you could have played Addie Max Waxman well. I don't know who that is, Anrun. Who is that?
Max Waxman is the lawyer. Well, no, not the lawyer. The guy who betrays Willem Dafoe and put and sells out John Turturro.
What's the last name on the character?
Waxman. That's a name. Max
Addie
Waxman. No.
Max Waxman.
Attorney Max Waxman.
Oh, attorney. Addie means attorney. Max Waxman. Oh, I've seen this guy. Oh, yeah, I know who this is. Okay. You're talking about if they did a movie about him? Oh. I am an actor. I stopped acting once we hit the 2000s. I just didn't feel a need to go do stage production anymore. I had a kid to worry about. And I got a lot of accolades. I never won an award. I don't think any of the stage plays I ever did were ever nominated, even though they were good. Sasha Fred, although John Turturro had been as a cameo role in Raging Bull, the Scorsese picture. Yeah. In fact, I don't even remember him in that movie. J.K. Rowling never paid attention to dates, apparently. September 1st was a Monday every year when Harry Potter was a student. That's right. It's so true. And I love
it is a fantasy story, though. It doesn't matter.
Well, at the end of this movie, a lot of people don't realize by the end of the movie that Dafoe wasn't the mastermind.
Nope.
He was the artist. The mastermind was the hot bitch he was fucking. And so she gets away with the other girl. She gets the girl in the end. And by the way, did anybody recognize that girl at all? Anyone?
I didn't. No.
That is Jane Eves early in her career, before she did Seinfeld and before she got cast as Daphne on Frasier. She was the limey caregiver that took care of Frasier's dad on the show Frasier. Yeah, Shirley got it. Yeah, Max Waxman is, of course, the
what a weird
Tom
name.
Cruise character on a movie we will be doing for Military Monday.
Oh, Tropic Thunder?
Tropic Thunder, yeah.
Oh,
That has been on the list
that
for a
movie.
few years now.
I've wanted to do it because I want to interview my boss, Dale, about it, ask him some questions. I don't think I'll have him on the show because I don't want to pressure him to be here at a certain time. Instead, find a time that's convenient for him. I'll record the interview, and I apologize, guys, because I'm sure you guys would love to ask him a question. But the fact is he's getting older. He's still busy working, and like right now, he's still over in Australia working on Operation Greyhound 2.
Here's what you can do, Gary. You can make a post on YouTube where people can post their questions for They'll Die in the comments.
No, I don't like them that much. That's a good idea. We have a website, so I will set it up because we have a blog on our website. If you didn't know that, and you can leave comments, and I'll create a thing just for like when we're going to have a guest on. If we have to record it and can't have them on live, I will let you guys go to the website and you can leave your questions that you would like to ask him. And what did I just see? I just saw somebody pop in here. I've not seen. Gussie Goro, what's up, man? I dig the photo. Man. That guy's a great fucking actor.
Who is
he's
that?
in a lot of the. He's in
John
a lot
Polito.
of. Yeah, John Polito is in so many of the Coen Brothers films because they found him and said he is perfect in just about any role you give him. And there's nothing more disgusting, and yet you can't take your eyes off of it. Him eating in a scene. And if you're a big fan of those films, you know which movie I'm talking about. Where he's, it's just like normally I'd be grossed out by that, but I can't take my eyes off of Polito when he's doing the scene. Fuck, man, he's a good actor. But one of my favorite roles he plays is in John Goodman Turturro. It takes place in the 30s, and Turturro's a Broadway writer, and they bring him to Hollywood to make a wrestling movie.
Don't know.
And he gets writer's block, and you delve deep into his insanity. He begins to lose his mind there. And Polito plays the studio executive, the guy that runs the studio. He's like Louis V. Mayer.
Aaron says
Barton Fink. That's it. I fucking love that movie, man. That movie
for a reason.
That movie is a fucking ride. It's not like a crazy roller coaster, but it is a ride where you don't know where you're going. Yeah, it's like, I have no idea where this is going, but I am all in on going on this fucking long drive, because Turturro by himself is amazing to watch. I just love Turturro's expressions.
Dude.
Moonlight Kingdom is, if I'm remembering it correctly, it's a movie he did with Sam Rockwell. And I fucking love that movie. Just watching those two work together. Sam Rockwell's one of my favorite actors, as is Turturro.
Dude,
and this is the scene with Turturro where they're trying to arrest him, right?
Yeah. In the bathroom, yeah.
Yeah, in the bathroom.
And the random guy walks in and backs out because he was just there for a leak, but I guess that passed.
He goes, "Yeah, I just came to pee. I'm just gonna go now." He says it out. Instead of just doing it, he says it out loud. And I thought that was funny as shit. It's not like he doesn't have comedy in his movies. Friedkin actually likes comedy, and he's done comedy, and he has comedy even in his thrillers, action thrillers like this. It's just not blatant comedy. It's not a gag. It's done through dialogue and reaction to things.
Tell me he doesn't look like Egon Spengler.
Yeah, of course. That's who should have taken over the role. I hate saying it, but if they were going to make another Ghostbusters film, they should have brought him in as the son of Egon, or the brother.
Brother, because it's too old to be his son.
He would have been great as another Egon, because his name would be Egon, is either his son or brother. I love this guy. The mosquito on his head is just an example of how bizarre this fucking movie is. And it's bizarre in a good way. I've seen bizarro films where I'm like, oh man, I can hardly wait till this is over. I watched this thing and I couldn't believe it was over when it ended. I'm like, I've enjoyed this fucking movie so much because it's a good kind of weird. Barton Fink is one where Turturro makes like a Faustian deal or something with Hollywood. Yeah, and he's, by the way, the guy that plays Frasier's dad on Frasier plays a Mankiewicz character. The character he's playing in the film is based on the original Mankiewicz that wrote like Citizen Kane. That's who he's based on, because he was a drunk. And I love how he when they hook up and he wants to be friends with him, but then he sees what a fucking wreck of a man this character is. And he goes, is this what is going to happen to me? Barton is a tragic character. And I guess there's something to be said about like some people who go to the races just to see the wrecks. That's kind of what that movie is, because you're wondering if this is just all going to culminate in some horrific accident. And the ending is so offbeat and so weird that, and I don't want to say what it is because I want Anima to watch this film and not know how it ends. But the whole serial killer thing, finding out that he's best friends with a fucking serial killer, and that they've been talking about throughout the whole movie, and he's not a traveling salesman at all. He's a fucking killer, and God damn that movie. And John Goodman is such a good actor in that. I love John Goodman. I've got problems with him since he betrayed Roseanne Barr, but before that, I always liked him. He was a very based person. I met him. I fucking was in a bar with him once. I've talked about that night. And that was the night I got so high and so drunk that I saw deer crossing a road in front of us that weren't there.
Wow.
And that was on Jägermeister and weed.
Ew, that sucks. That stuff.
Oh my God. And after that night, when I woke up the next day, I turned to my buddy Marshall. I won't say his last name. I've said it before. I said, I poked him in the chest because he was leaving for Oklahoma. I said, when you come back, if you offer me weed again, I'm going to punch you in your fucking face. And I love you. Don't ever offer me weed again. And as he's like, okay, man, okay. As he's walking, I said, and I fucking hate Jaeger. I fucking hate it. It tastes like anus because it's made from anise. Well, it tastes like fucking cough syrup to me.
Yeah,
it does a little. I'm not gonna.
Tastes like NyQuil. Yeah, John Mahoney. I couldn't think of his name. Love that guy. I was so heartbroken when he died. I rewatched The Line of Duty last year. He was in that too as Eastwood's boss. That's a good film, man. I stole a line from that for one of my scripts for a character where he turns and he's watching the girl walk away and he says the same line. Clint Eastwood goes, okay, now turn around and look back at me. There you go. We got a thing. Because the minute the girl turns back, girl likes you when they do that. And it's a good sign. It's a good sign when you see that. Dean Stockwell's amazing, and he's so good in this film, and he's one of the most duplicitous fuckers in this movie. I consider him a true fucking villain. And he's a lawyer. Dean Stockwell, man, whatever happened to that guy? Was the son of Harry Stockwell from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, 1937, the Disney cartoon. I didn't know that. Raising Arizona, another great fucking movie by the Coen brothers. I mean, that's a rip-roaring adventure right there. Fucking, what's his name as the bounty hunter? God, he's so fucking crazy in that movie. It makes cough syrup seem like amaretto. That's right. William Petersen was acting in Canada when asked to fly to New York City and meet with director Friedkin. The Lumet film of Long Day's Journey into Night with Stockwell, Jason Robards, Ralph Richardson, Katharine Hepburn is quite good. I totally agree. And I like Lumet. One of Dean Stockwell's earliest roles was in the Twilight Zone episode of Quality of Mercy, where a Japanese American finds themselves literally in each other's. Oh, no. I know the one you're talking about. Yeah. That's a good episode. But Dean Stockwell was a child actor. And he was in a little movie about the little boy whose hair turned green. And he gets ostracized for it. Dean Stockwell.
That's a weird story.
It's a good movie. Really it is. Sounds weird to you, but it's really a good fucking movie. I watched it when I was a kid, and I was engrossed in that movie. And I got afraid of swimming in chlorinated pools as a kid. Letting my head go into the water because I was afraid the chlorine would turn my hair green. God, that guy had a fucking career. 205 television shows and movies. Yeah, he was in The Valley of Decision, Anchors Away, great movie. Bud Abbott and Lou Costello in Hollywood, The Green Years. I remember this movie too. He looked like a little Lord Fauntleroy in that movie. If anybody knows who.
Hammerschlag.
Little Lord Fauntleroy. If you don't know it, look it up. It's worth it. It is. It's really worth it. But there was this movie he did. I'm trying to find it right now. Wow, he was in a lot of fucking movies. One person, Arnello Affair, The Romance of Rosie, Song of the Thin Man, Gentleman's Agreement. That's another great movie. He played the kid. Gentleman's Agreement, Deep Waters, The Boy with Green Hair. Here it is. This movie had a huge impact on me as a boy. Martin, would you share this when it pops up, please? This is the guy that's playing the lawyer, and this is him as a child actor. Are you on it?
There it is.
It's there.
Okay. That's what he looked like in the film, and they colored his hair green for the movie. And it is a really good film. And nothing he does can get rid of the green. And it has a huge impact on him. And I fucking love that movie. And that's little Dean Stockwell when he was a kid. Robert Ryan is in it, man. Fucking Barbara Hale from Perry Mason's in it. Let's see who else is in this. Wait, Pat O'Brien. Fuck, man, that dude was the shit back in the day. Dwayne Hickman as a kid is in this from the Dobie Gillis series, The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis. A lot of people don't know that show, The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis, inspired Scooby-Doo. Shaggy was based on Maynard G. Krebs. Go ahead, dude. I'm going to leave it alone. Dobie's best friend, played by Bob Denver, who would go on to play Gilligan in the Gilligan's Island series and movies. Richard Chance is a good cop, but he gets sonically changed after he has met Rick Masters.
Nah, I challenge that.
Yeah.
Put that back up. I wanted to see that again. Like, what does he say here? Chance is a good cop, but he gets met Rick Masters. No, I think his transition gambit occurs at the death of his partner, where he loses his sense of direction. His partner was kind of his sense of direction. And now he's dead. And all direction he has is revenge. And that's all he wants. And he loves the fucking thrill of it all. He loves the action. That's why he reacts the way he does. And of course, that wasn't even acting. William Petersen did a lot of his own, like 90 to 95% of his own stunt driving. And he did that one chase moment where they had to just get through everybody. That's Petersen driving. And he's got poor fucking John Pankow in the back seat. And he described him as ash gray. And he lost all the blood rushed from his face. He was like getting sick, horrified of what was going on. And he, and like fucking John is like, shouldn't stuntmen be doing this?
What if you die?
And that's why they waited to the last. It was the last thing they filmed, was the chase scene. The very last thing they shot.
And then you have his character in CSI playing it always so calm, collected, restrained.
Yeah, restrained. But you know, and he finishes that chase scene, and you see the character throw up his fucking arm. Yeah. That is actually William Petersen. So stoked that he did that entire stunt in one take. And it's fucking cool, man. It's fucking cool. And he preferred doing that over acting. He says, that was fun. I probably should have been a stuntman.
Yeah.
Because that's just fun. More like he gained a sense of direction, but it was tunnel vision. Well, that's the other problem. This happens to a lot of cops, though, Alpha. They'll get tunnel vision, and that's why cases go cold. Because they can't see beyond what they're looking at. And so they got to put it down and then let some other officer open it up again. When their rotation comes, they open that case back up and fresh new eyes looking at it. But they also did something else, and I told this to Anima before we saw the making of video. I went back and I know how they shot that, where they're on the highway and you see them close-ups in the car doing massive turns in it. And I'm like, there's something there that's not right. And I said, I know how they shot that. And I said, they've got a trailer with a rotating rig, like a what do you call it? Lazy Susan rig, a gimbal, but it's more like a Lazy Susan. It rotates left and right. And they're controlling the rotation of the car on the freeway being pulled behind a truck. I said, that's how they did it. We watched the making of, and that is how they did that scene. I knew it. The reason why is if you have a mounted camera on a car, and it turns the way they did, it will drift. The car is drifting at that point. And you will see it in the camera because they didn't have the shock system yet for cameras on their camera mounts like they do today. And you will see the vibration of going against the normal spin of the tire when it drifts, and it would vibrate. Now, it was smooth. And I'm like, I know how they shot that. Oh man, we're not even at the middle. Oh, we're at the middle. We're at the middle, Sander. Hi, Sander.
I guess he just wanted to do it before Gambit does it again because it is Sander's thing.
I'm going
to tell you this, that Rick's partner in this is, and I'm talking about the character played by William Petersen. Yeah, it's like his character, the partner, was kind of his moral center because he's the older guy. Never listened to him.
Yeah.
Well, he would do other things, but the thing is, he should have taken him with him on that call, and both might have survived. But the fact is that single action leads to, and by the way, she was hot. Back in the 80s, man, I was like, holy shit, she's got a dancer's ass. And I'm like, that is a nice butt. Now, I'm going to say right now, nowhere near as nice as Anima's. She's got the most perfect butt I've ever seen. And nobody gets to see that, but I've seen it, and it's beautiful. And she has also, it's very similar to a dancer's ass because it's got that top curve on it. So.
Are you done?
No, I'm not.
Please stop.
We're all awkwardly feeling.
Yeah, fuck you with the awkwardly. You know you love your wife's butt. Stop.
Yeah, but you don't see me posting on the interwebs. Yeah.
I'm more honest.
No, Martina's more class.
Yeah.
Look, I've got a lot of class. I have a lot of class. Not all of it good class.
Look what you've done, Gary. Look what you've done.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like William Petersen when he finished this. Hold on. I'm like William Petersen when he finished the stunt. I'm like, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to put an end to this discussion.
I've got 5 terrace going southeast on Bakalakadaka Street.
What's this? Last? Yes, Gambit. Last time took my glory. What's this?
Took it back.
Now, Regis Toomey, I have seen from Alibi, 1929, Frame, 1930. I like the movie Framed. I don't think I've seen Alibi. Sharks of Chance, 1930. I haven't seen that. Was a good matinee actor from the 20s and 30s. I like that you love old movies, dude. That's great. That is great. The other thing I like about this film is the characters all look like normal people. Nobody overly handsome. The women that are beautiful are supposed to be beautiful because that's part of who their character is, a beautiful person. And like I said, if you don't pay attention, you miss the fact Willem Dafoe is not the true villain. His woman is. Oh, I like this character here. Yeah, the scene. Mike wants, let the people judge. I'm all for it. No, that's my woman's butt. Mine. It's all mine. Yes, it belongs to her, but it's mine.
No. It's not yours. You have it on lease.
Who is George? Was part of the independent revolution. I know I just pissed him off. Who is George? Was part of the independent revolution of filmmaking because the Coen brothers were coming up with Blood Simple is a great little movie. I fucking love that movie. I remember that led to an argument between Josh Becker and me, like an actual, like almost yelling at each other. I said, look, man, I get it. You're not nuanced. I'm a little more nuanced in my kind of storytelling. And I dig what the Coen brothers did. They took your classic noir film and made a fucking neo-noir horror film with it. And it's only horror because you actually have a killer in the fucking movie out to kill the main characters. Oh, I fucking love that movie. And M. Emmett Walsh is, God, he's fucking brilliant. We just lost him too. Didn't he just die?
I don't know.
Yeah, he died last year, or no, 24. God, that far back? It seemed it was just like a few months ago. God. Anyway, 80s represented the new age of corporate filmmaking mixed with professionalism. It also, because the studio system finally was dying out in the 70s, it led to more. By the way, I want to pause right here on this black dude. Fucking love this dude.
Yeah.
But anyway, the 1980s represented the new age of corporate filmmaking, but it was also, and I get irritated, like my buddy from Fanzine, he's interviewed a lot of those and worked with some of these guys that do these documentaries about 80s horror. And I got irritated watching it because they're like, oh, it's all about Ronald Reagan, Reaganomics. And I went, where is that in the film? What are you fucking talking about? Yes. Well, some movies in the 80s were talking about greed, but most of those films were just trying to be edgy. They were trying to make a statement. They were making a fucking horror film. 90% was just trying to make a good horror film. Stop trying to put shit into it that wasn't there. This is like later when George Romero finally said, yeah, that was all about racism with Night of the Living Dead. No, it wasn't. He got interviewed about that. He goes, no, the film's not about racism. You know, and he said it multiple times. And then finally, it got said enough.
How is a movie about zombies being about, oh my God.
And the main protagonist in it is a black guy. You know, it's
people,
like
people are crazy.
Fucking stupid.
People are just crazy.
Oh, they're not crazy. They're stupid too, but they are crazy and they're stupid that do that shit. Now I paused it here for a reason because I wanted to talk about this guy. This is Steve James, man, and I fucking love this guy. He was the 1980s, man. He was in so many fucking action films. He was in The Warriors. He was in the movie POW, the Escape with what's his name from Kung Fu? Carradine, David Carradine. And he was just in so many fucking big fucking movies. Weekend at Bernie's, Blood Fist. He was the last thing he did before he died. He played Antoine Pike in Mantis, and they had to replace him because he died. And what did he die of? Pancreatic cancer. Killed that guy. And he was like 41 years old, man. And he was in so many things. One of my personal favorites that he's in, Keith and I have talked about. In fact, the opening of Keith's show has a clip from the movie, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, because he played Kung Fu Joe.
Yes.
He was
the only one who survived.
That movie was fun.
I love fucking Kung Fu Joe in that movie. And I love him. He is such a good fucking actor. So much better than what people give. And he's a stuntman too. And he does all of his own action stunts, all of his own fight scenes. One of the coolest things he ever did was he was one of the rollerblade people from The Wiz. And fucking cool as shit, man. He was a stuntman in that movie too. I think that was like his first thing he ever did. And this guy was so fucking great. Killed by fucking cancer. The worst kind too. Pancreatic, just it's so aggressive. Yeah. And of course we lost Vanderbeek. And this is the thing that bugs me. I get it. This was the 80s and going into the 90s. 1992 when he died. Okay, I get it. The 90s. Today, people dying of ALS or fucking cancer is insane to me. You should be able to pop a pill at this point with all the money that's been spent on research. Like, here you go. That'll grow you a new leg. Fuck, man. I just fucking hate cancer. But anyway, great guy. He has a bit part in this film, but he has also one of the single best fight scenes in a thriller. The fight scene between these two and the other guys involved. And there is some gunplay in it too. Guy gets shot point blank in the face.
Oh, they do a lot. They do that a lot in this movie.
Yeah, they like headshots.
Yeah, it's like Friedkin likes that fucking realism. And he really does.
That's why there was a lot of ass kicking going on with that fight. They were having at each other.
They really were. That was them brawling. They pulled their punches a bit, but they were actually really fighting. There was no choreography. That fight scene was them brawling. And
yeah, because the black dude is a martial artist, but it wasn't supposed to look like martial arts. It really needed to look like just.
It was supposed to look like a street fight. Yeah. In the Michael Jackson Billie Jean music video, it feels like you are watching a film noir detective story. Yeah. I liked Michael Jackson's videos, man. I'm a big fan of Michael Jackson's music. What is the age that someone becomes old enough to die? I never said why people say died too young. Well, it's if you die before you have reached real maturity, which is 65. Between 60 and 65. I'm 61, going to be 62 here in a couple months. Okay. If I died, only one person would really be upset.
Fuck off.
Yeah, sure.
I'm pointing at you too, Martin.
But you say only one person.
Well, it is you. Because she'll be angry at me. She will be really fucking angry at me if I die. But the fact is, in reality, man, men die young. I did a lot of stupid shit in my life.
If you die, I will kill you.
Yeah, exactly. See what I mean? So this is what I live with. This is what I live with, her threats all the time. So, but, I saw this little boy, like dad's holding him. He's holding his dad, and he's got his head on his dad's shoulder looking back at me, just staring at me. And I turned, and I'm walking with my cane. And he goes, Dad, why is that man walking with a cane? Completely within earshot of me. He doesn't know that I could hear him because he's a child and they're fucking stupid. And I just said, because I did a lot of stupid stuff in the military that I didn't think I'd have to pay for later. There you go. And it's true. And it's not just that. I injured myself permanently in baseball, tore my rotator cuff to where they couldn't repair it. I have pain from it to this day, to where I can't even lift this arm sometimes. This is my drawing arm. It only goes so high. And football, boxing, so many things got martial arts, lifetime of martial arts. I got hurt so many times, broken. And when I went to see the doctor the other day for my x-rays, he's pointing out, you got a lot of broken bones around your foot. It's like, I know. I was there for each one of them. I remember each one. The one that he couldn't see was at one point when I was in the Army, I was wearing boots that didn't fit me correctly. And it pushed my foot inward. And it's called, I forget that. It's boxing. Is that what it's called? No, something like that. It's hammering. It's hammered my foot inward. And it caused one of my metatarsals to flip upside down.
Oh my goodness.
And it stuck out of the top of my foot like a shark fin. And when I was in the barracks one day and my buddy Julio saw it and he goes, yo, man, what the fuck with your foot, man? And I looked at him and I started doing the Jaws theme and my foot started going towards him, went dun 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 dun. He goes, oh, knock that shit up, man. You're weird. They eventually, right. And what they ended up doing is they gave me arch supports. They did a test on my feet, found out I have really high arches. So I had to stand in oiled sand and then be lifted out. I had to lift myself out of it because it had to be a perfect mold of the bottom of my feet. And they took the mold and then they sculpted foam inserts, thick memory foam inserts for my shoes, my boots, my combat boots. And within 1 week, the metatarsal turned back up correctly. It was nice. Oh, somebody liked my joke. I don't know which joke it was. Weird for our pleasure. You goddamn right. So Dawn of the Dead, 78, Day of the Dead, 85, Night of the Living Dead, 68. If you can count them all in chronological order. I really do I liked Night of the Living Dead a lot because I really have a soft spot for that fucking movie. One, he shot it in black and white because it was all they could afford. And then Dawn of the Dead, I consider to be the best and greatest zombie film ever made. I love the story. I love the premise. I loved the commentary about consumerism in it, because it's clearly there. It's not like the race stuff that they throw into Night of the Living Dead, but there is a clear criticism of consumerism in the movie, which I find funny because without consumerism, that movie wouldn't have made money. But I think it's okay to criticize it because it really got bad in the 80s. The 80s, that's when the malls got bigger and shoulders pads got bigger.
Plateau
bigger.
I probably can say that I never wore a shirt that had shoulder pads in it because I'm broad-shouldered, and that would have looked really fucking weird. Hey, Meth, buddy. Oh, that's okay, Mev. We appreciate it, buddy.
It doesn't matter.
Don't worry about it.
You can compensate us by jumping in here.
Yeah, jump in here. It's the one thing I constantly say about this show. It's not Jewish enough.
Unlike Seinfeld.
You
know the story, right?
I'm sorry. I was reading what Gambit said. What was that, Martin?
You said the show is not Jewish enough, and I said, unlike Seinfeld.
Unlike Seinfeld, yeah.
You remember that story that they almost didn't greenlight the show because apparently it was too Jewish.
Too Jewish. And it got a character named Costanza in it, whose family is clearly Jewish. Like,
sorry. Oh, can't stand you.
I can't stand you.
Hey, man.
Hi. I'm pretty tired. Why are you keeping me up?
Oh, because we miss you.
I miss you too, but like yesterday, I rested my eyes and woke up at 4 a.m. on the couch.
I've done that too. I'm just going to shut my eyes for a second. 5 hours later, or even 10 hours later.
My wife got a new armchair. It's less of a lazy boy and more of a designer thing because she loved it and it was cheap. But it looks good. When you sit in it, you can't get up.
It eats you. Yeah,
the angle is a little bit laid back, but it's not full reclining, and it doesn't really have the thing that you pop on the side. It just has an extra bit to it at the front. You sit down, and if you're tired enough, you fall asleep. So yeah, I just sat and waited for the clock to chime in. I know specifically, I heard Martine send the Twitter DM because I've heard my phone go ding, and it was like, okay, I have like 5 minutes and I have to get up. 4 hours later, or let's say 6 hours later, essentially, I got up. It was still dark and I couldn't tell where I was. Yet, suspiciously enough, I had a blanket all over me.
Your wife.
Yeah.
That's sweet. By the way, I did respond to you, Reed, but I didn't say hi to you. So hi, Reed. How you doing? I did say hi to our new watcher, Gussie Goro. And then there's, of course, our dear friend Hammerschlag. Sander Hammerschlag. And then Vinkman's girl. So I want to make sure hi to everybody. And I thought I saw somebody else drop in here a second ago.
Yeah, the Peter Bergman.
Helen Place.
Oh.
And Vinkman's girl.
Oh, right.
That's Vinkman's girl. So, hi, guys. Hope everybody's having a good Saturday. I know I am. We watched this, and I got to tell you, I want to watch it again. I love this movie so fucking much.
Manhunter?
Yes, Manhunter.
Why is it on screen where it says live and let die in LA? Live and let die in LA.
Hey, here's a question for you.
Yes.
And the only person not allowed to answer this question is 11 Alpha because I know he knows what it is.
I don't have the chat open. So
what is the difference between closed court and open court? Because it's mentioned here in that previous scene. I'll have you testify in open court. And Anima was like, what is open court? And I explained to her what it is. And she's, oh, yeah, well, yeah. And a lot of people don't know what open court and closed court means.
Okay, so open court is open to the public. So everybody can get in, a Joe Schmo from the street, and mostly reporters for news outlets, especially if it's a trial that is either interesting or has any public merits. So O.J. Simpson was open court.
Right.
Closed court is where you have either sensitive material,
children.
Typically children are involved. Some rape cases, not all of them, and things that are tend to be like corporate espionage type deals where it's patented work and that sort of a thing, where you have experts testify, and it's about patents and how things work within a technology of sorts. That could be, depending on the judge, could be closed court because a sensitive material.
Yeah, and there are gradient levels. And Alpha, correct me if I'm wrong here, but there are gradient levels of closed court, because the levels go from, like what you're talking about, there can also closed court if it's a federal hearing and you've got people who are still like in clandestine services or in jobs where they're undercover. Their faces can't be seen and they have to give testimony.
The Ghislaine Maxwell court was essentially open court, but people sat in the galley and it had very limited space, and whoever got in was vetted, especially if they were journalists.
Right.
I wonder why.
Yeah, and a lot of time they have their own galley there in the courts for the media. Fuck, man. I'm trying to cross. What is this scene here? Where are we at? I got lost track where we're
I don't know, but I'm half asleep. And I'm
get
right
out of here, man. Go
I just wanted to come up. I love you guys, so I just wanted to say hello, all right? And for some reason, I did set up the redirect like a week ago, and it didn't. Sometimes it just doesn't go off for some reason. So I really wanted to get, because we had some people still live. Most of them actually do transfer like an hour into your show, but the people who don't, I do want to get to your show, but if it doesn't happen, it sucks, right?
By the way,
it's not me.
Before you go, let's play this game because you weren't here earlier.
Sure.
All right. When I was a kid, he was both a Marine and was a merc for a while, still working for the government. But
yes, he's Mossad. Yes, whoever it is, it's Mossad.
Oh no, he was not. He was absolutely not Mossad. But he came over, and I was just a kid, and he walked over to me. We were in the arcade, and he walked over to me, and he says, "Hey, you see that? That's the $10 bill. That's Hamilton. You know, he was this guy who like actually one of the last people to have a major duel in public." And I'm like, "A duel?" Yeah. And he goes, and on the back, they did the Treasury. This is a Treasury building in DC. I said, "Oh, I've been there." He goes, "Yeah." So what they did in this is different than all the other dollar bills, whether it be a 1 all the way up to 1,000. You've got different artwork on the back. And on this one are people, which is not done on any of the others. And the reason why is because the artist hid a hitchhiker on the back of this bill. So all you got to do, I want you to find that thing, and I will give you this $10 bill. And I went, okay.
What's the catch?
So I go looking for it. I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking. And I grabbed my dad's glasses because he sat him down. He played pool, and the glasses fucked him up when he was playing pool. So I picked them up and used them like a magnifying glass to see what's going on here. And I'm looking. I said, finally, I gave up. And I think only a few minutes went by. And I'm like, I give up. I can't find the hitchhiker. He goes, no. He looks at it. He goes, well, I guess he got his ride.
Because there's
And I
a
love that
car.
shirt. Yeah, because
Yeah.
there's a car. And I'm like, oh my God. You know, I felt like, you dick.
That's why these things work on children, Gary.
Yeah. But apparently not on adults or
Nope.
Jews. Jews are too smart for that shit.
Juice. We just did Willy Wonka, so the juice from there was a question. Boosh asked me if Violet Beauregard was filled with Jews, and I said, "Oy vey."
Oy vey. Hey, I want to talk to you about this latest shit that happened. Not here. We'll talk about it later. I want to do a video chat with you.
Which shit? There's a lot of shit going on.
Tucker Carlson thing. Because
oh my God, he was on TV, on our TV. Holy shit. I was like, really?
I want to talk to you about, the whole thing that the security held him there at the airport, and that they put that one video out that shows nothing. And it's because it's nothing. That actually was a separate one. Like, where's the security footage? I want to talk to you about that when we get a chance. Just you and me.
Okay.
Just you and me. No audience. So
okay. I'll try to be on sometime. Maybe get early. Maybe on Wednesday.
Early in the day. I'll check and see. But either way, guys, I just want to talk to you and get your feel on what happened there.
I don't know what you're talking about security video. I just saw like an interview.
Pull it all up. I'll pull it all up when we talk.
No problem.
But I really want to get your spin on it, buddy. All right, man. Get out of here. Go get some sleep, and I'll talk to you later, man. We love you.
Good night, Anima. Good night, Martine. Good night, Gary. Good night, everybody in the chat. I'll see you when I see you.
Later, brother.
Bye.
So let's see. I wanted to go back to one. Where's it at? I started this one right here. I fell down an escalator once and had a metatarsal sticking straight up. That kind of hurt. Yeah. Was it your fourth or fifth metatarsal? Well, the most painful one is going to be the fourth. Is that what it was? Because that fucker hurts when it happens. That's where there's more nerves right there on the fourth metatarsal than there are on the other part of the foot. So I'm going to bet if it hurt a lot, that was the one you did in. And I always thought it was funny because, like, for the hand, they're carpals, okay, the metacarpals, and then with feet, it's metatarsals or tarsals. When he looked at my X-ray, though, I do want to point out, like, he's like, you've got a lot of broken bones here. Like, yeah, no. And I said, if you look over on the right foot there, if you look at the capitulum of the malleolus bone, you'll see that that's broken. And it actually has a piece of splintered bone sitting next to it. I said, I did that jumping. I'm not airborne. I wasn't trained. I jumped out of a helicopter. And we were supposed to be on flat land underneath. This was nighttime when I jumped out. And I landed, and it wasn't. It was like this. And so when I went down, this foot hit, and then the other one went down, and this one paid the price. And it broke what people think is the ankle is actually the malleolus. You can't actually see your ankle. The ankle is inside the foot, under the malleolus. So, yeah, I'm curious about that bone. Yeah, Johnny Depp's was open. The director wanted to make an independent film and collaborate with people who could work. Yeah, and that's why he worked with Robbie Mueller, because Robbie Mueller was somebody he wanted to work with. And so he decided to shoot this on a very small budget, $6 million. And his studio put money into advertising for it, for sure. And I got to tell you, it didn't hurt having Wang Chung do the soundtrack, because man, oh man, that got sold a lot. Did they go platinum on that? Wang Chung went platinum on You Live and Die. No autofill? Thanks, man, for making me type the whole thing out. Fucking.
It recognized you as a dick, so it's being a dick to you.
It's not even know that I'm a dick. I'm a big dick. You can tell because my middle name is Richard, which is the longer version of Dick.
I know who you stole that from.
I know you do because you watch it.
Yeah.
That was funny as shit.
But if you steal from the best, yeah.
Fuck yeah, Richard Burton, man. I love that. Oh, man, I love humor. Wang Chung, Wikipedia. Here we go. Go to Wikipedia, Control F, platinum. Doesn't look like they went platinum. I'm surprised because that thing really sold well. Did it go gold? Okay, maybe it doesn't even have anything in there because it had to go something. Okay, let me go back. Okay, so when it charted at number 41 on the Billboard Hot 100. When it came to the radio, they charted at 30th place. And then when it came to Billboard, mainstream rock tracks, just the rock tracks, it hit 21st place, which is not bad. It would have been better if they'd hit within the top 10. I'm really surprised because I liked that song when it came out. And fuck, Anima is like really one of those like people that like, I don't like that. Yeah. She likes that song. Did I scrunch my face up enough for you, baby?
Almost.
It's weird though. Alexander Hamilton actually was. No, he was. Shut up.
Hey, Bumpy Jones is in the house.
Hey,
what? Bumpy. What's up, brother? God, man, it's good to see you. You don't pop in enough, in my opinion, Bumpy. I always love the shit you have to say. To Live and Die in L.A. is easily my favorite film, dethroning Kubrick's Spartacus. Truly a masterpiece with Friedkin. Absolutely agree with you. I believe that it is his best movie. And I love The Exorcist, man. I love The French Connection. But man, oh man, To Live and Die in L.A. was a culmination of his decade of learning. And I just think this movie is just fantastic. And by the way, that is a great train station, Union train station. Been there a few times. I love that place. It was the place also used for Blade Runner for the police
station.
It's in
a lot of movies.
It's best known for Blade Runner. At least mixed race anyway. Well, he's got a small percentage in there of someone from either I think it's East Africa with him. But yeah, that's pure politics when you hear somebody yell out his race. It's like there are paintings of him and they're fairly accurate and they pretty much all look the same when you go across. He was very, as I love to say, caucasoidal. And I also believe that he intentionally allowed himself to be shot. I don't think he intended to die. I think he intended to get shot so he can make Burr look bad. I've never seen that level of hate. Okay, let's talk about this scene right here, Anima. Let's go. Because you love this scene.
Well, I love finding out what's really happening here because the suitcase wasn't supposed to burst open, but he kept smacking it against the pillar, so it did, and out flies the telephone book. And the camera just keeps rolling, so he grabs the phone book and throws it at his buddies. And that's just what Friedkin did, frequently. Just don't cut the scene. Keep it rolling, see what they do. I like his style of directing.
Well, here, Bumpy, the cool thing about that is it was saved to be the very last thing they shot. And there's a reason. Because they intended to let actors William Petersen and John Pankow be in that car. And that
Pankow was terrified.
90% of the driving in this stunt scene was Petersen driving. They did have stunt doubles, but 90% of it, and that's straight from Petersen himself. Friedkin kind of talked about it too, that he did most of his stunts in this, that he wanted to do this chase scene. And he did it that same frenetic way of mounting the camera on the front of the car and pointing it away from the car where you are looking low to the road. It makes the road faster when you do that. The parallax thing, people don't know about it, that something occurs when you zoom in on a road that you're going fast on, looks like you're going in slow motion. But when you pull back, wham, it's going fast. And so Friedkin knew that. And so he did the same thing he did with French Connection. But he turned to Buddy, the main stunt coordinator, and he said, hey, man, this has to be better than French Connection or it's not going in the movie. And he said it on camera. He says, I'm not going to have this in the movie if it's not better than the French Connection. So Buddy went down and did the drawings, and you can see it it's in the making of documentary that's on YouTube. And he did detailed drawings of where each car is when it does this, that, and the other thing, completely color marked for each vehicle, showing which is which. It's a beautiful diagram. It's not really well drawn, but it's beautifully designed stunt and how they pulled it off. And one of them was done in one shot. And that's why you see William Petersen throw his arms up. Yes. And he did that because he did the stunt and he was so excited. He did that, which is perfect for the character because the character is a thrill seeker.
Yeah. And Pankow didn't have to fake being terrified. He really was.
He really was. Petersen said, yeah, he was ash gray in the back seat when he's doing some of those stunts because he was getting nauseous back there from being thrown around. This scene also, a lot of people don't quite catch it, that it's the other agents that shoot their own man. It's not something but because they're committing a crime, anybody injured on that is on them. And that is why he flees the way he does, because he knows that if they get caught now with that officer, because that's a federal officer that got shot, that they're going to prison, both of them. And
we have somebody new here, Gary, and a challenge you to say that name.
Yes,
Eric Jr.
Eric
Maldonado.
That's a mouthful.
Oh my God, you destroyed that. Maldonado Herrera.
I'm not doing that.
He's
I only
American.
roll my R's.
I only
roll my R's on certain names, and Anima heard me do it for one person. You went,
yeah, that was an accident, though.
No, it's just how I pronounce her name, and it's just I've heard the name and I pronounced it because that's how I heard it. If I'm just looking at a name, I'm going to say it like an American because I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Anyway, welcome, Eric.
Welcome, Eric. And hope you're having a good day, as well as the author of Live to Die in L.A., the book named Gerald Petovich. Yeah, was a actual U.S. Secret Service Treasury agent. That's interesting. I will say this, that when he read the book, Friedkin was really inspired by the book, but he knew he was going to make his own movie. And he made one major decision that shocked the audience when they saw it. And it was the complete opposite of what happened in the book. He kills the protagonist before the end of the book or before the end of the movie, like over 10 minutes before the end. Wait, I want to read that. Ridley Scott got the same antipathy with the Union of Blade Runner. Yeah. One of my best friends in high school is named Maldonado. That's a good name. Definitely sounds mob related. Trouble rolling your tongue. Are there R's? Yes. If there are R's, I have trouble with them, with accents. But the one name I said correctly that shocked Anima was
it didn't shock me. It was just a surprise.
This female actress, and I said her name, and she was like, "You rolled your R's," and I said it again, and went, "Oh, I guess I did." And that's because I heard her pronounce her name. Like when I say Antonio's name, Antonio Banderas, I say it the way I heard him say it in an interview. I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." I like his name too. That's a fucking awesome name, Antonio Banderas. It's almost like Ricardo Montalban. Harold Petrovich wrote a series of detective novels before he wrote To Live and Die in L.A. of treasury agents going after counterfeiters in L.A. And he was a consulting executive producer of this film. Well, yeah, I'm sure he brought him on. Kill Petersen. Coffee from Shirley.
That's a good idea.
The Arab playing a guy with a polyester suit must have gone through tear and wear with the car scene. Yeah. Oh, that dude? Yeah, he was Chinese.
No, that's the FBI.
Yeah, he's a federal agent.
Undercover, not the one in the car. By the way, that is the same guy in that plays the Korean clerk in Day of the one with John Michael Douglas. Falling down.
Oh, Falling Down. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also adds a new dimension. Well, I got to tell you, man, it was the most realistic ending. And because, again, I want to say, you can go on YouTube and see it. There is an alternate ending that was shot because the studio demanded it, that they at least have one and that they consider. But because Friedkin pretty much paid for this movie, got all the money for this movie, he had final say. And so he says, no, I'm sticking with my ending. It's better. And when you watch the other one, it's kind of cool because you guys weren't here. I'm going to go over it again. Basically, what ends up happening is when they're in the locker room, the guy shoots Petersen's character, Richard, shoots him in the chest, though, and he's got body armor on underneath his jacket. So he ends up surviving. You don't know that at first. It kind of fades into the next moment, which is a news report that a major counterfeiting thing was went up in smoke, and the counterfeiter was killed. It was a known artist in the area, and then they bring in a Secret Service agent, and it's not our main characters. It's somebody we've not met, and it's somebody higher up the chain, the food chain at the Secret Service. And he's there to tell him that, yeah, I was commanded this mission, lying through his teeth. Yeah, I commanded this mission. I'm the one that gave them a shoot to kill order. And to make sure that they don't open their fucking mouths, we pull back from this news report and interview, and we're seeing it from now a TV in a room that looks like crap. There's like a space heater that's all dented in, and there's a little sign that says, "Welcome to Siberia." And then we pull back further, we see that it's Volkovich in a winter jacket, a big old puffy winter jacket, sitting there watching, and then he turns, looks over his shoulder behind him, and behind him is William Petersen, Richard Chance. And he's laying there with a blanket up to his neck, watching this news report. And we hear the report continue as he's talking about how, our men acted bravely in this situation. And he smiles. And then he says, fuck it. And he doesn't say it out loud. You can see he goes, I'm done. And he lays back and he starts to go to sleep. And then the camera pulls back out of the building. We're now over it. And we see that it's a little concrete center block building on top of a fucking mountain peak with an antenna. And it says Secret Service Outpost, Anchorage, Alaska. And you get this little, white printout on the screen as you're backing away looking at this thing that tells how these two agents were sent to Alaska because they were short 2 agents up there. And so they were sent there. They were sent there as punishment. But the amazing thing is they're not going to prison for what they did. And it backs away, and then the music from Wang Chung starts, and it's just like fucking classic fucking action thriller ending. And it's doing all that shit. And then we see William Petersen respond to the ending of the film saying, he says, I'm glad that he went with the real ending, the good ending. The other one was just too Eddie Murphy.
And it's true.
And it's true.
We had the car chase, by the way.
Wait, you have been challenged, Gary.
No.
Hervé Vallechette. Yeah, I've heard his name said. So you can't get me on that one, buddy. But there are names out there you can fucking get me on from Hollywood that I would not know how to fucking pronounce. If I don't hear it, or hear the actor say it, or somebody say it to the actor at some point in an interview, I have no clue. I will pause it here because there are 2 great things happening here. One, there's a moment there where they're in this fucking chase and they're driving the wrong direction. And they're just like swerving, and they cut close where you clearly have cameras mounted like right in front of the vehicle, looking really close at them. And you'll see them turning smoothly as they're moving through traffic. But I pointed out to Anima, that doesn't look right. something caught my attention, which is when you turn the way he's turning, you do what's referred to as, drifting. And when you drift in a car back in the 80s and you have cameras there, you're going to get vibration from it because wheels are doing this and then they're turning sideways, and it creates a vibration that you pick up in the cameras. And we've seen it in action movies where that happens. And so I'm like, I know what they did. They put that car on a trailer with like a gimbal or a Lazy Susan rotating thing to do that. And they're just manually rotating it while the cameras are mounted on the truck. And boom, we watched the making of it. It's exactly how they did it. I love it when I catch shit like that. And because my eye catches weird shit all the time when something looks cool, but it's not right. And that was really cool. And when they did the jackknife, I've had a jackknife come right at me. I'm not in a vehicle. I was physically in front of this truck sliding towards me, jackknife. And I just like, well, that's it. I'm trying to help these people. I'm going to die today. And I was just casual about it. Like, well, okay. But it didn't kill me. And I walked away from that going, I probably shouldn't do that anymore. I could have got killed doing what I did. But it scared the shit out of my niece. She started crying in the car. She thought I was going to get killed. It was funny. She brings it up whenever I see her. Like, oh, you were so, you ran across that icy road to go help those people. But anyway, Jackknife was done very cool. So what they did is the actual trailer, even though it's on the pivot on the truck where it hitches, right on the hitch, the back of the truck is actually supported and cabled to the back of the four-wheel drive vehicle right next to it. And so when that vehicle starts to move out, the trailer follows it. So it was a controlled jackknife. And it's really fucking cool looking.
It looks so dangerous.
God damn. And I love that chase scene because there was a real accident in the chase scene in French Connection where one guy they weren't aware of that hadn't got the warnings that they were shooting, got in his car to go to work and T-boned Gene Hackman. And Hackman was driving. That was always fucking awesome. Thief was William Petersen's best early film as a bartender. Yeah, he's in it. He's got a cool scene. He actually has dialogue. That's one of the reasons why we showed it, because this week we're celebrating William Petersen and Michael Mann's birthday, because both their birthdays are this month. So I thought we could kill two birds with one stone this week. So the first of the week we did a movie he's not in for Military Monday, which was the movie Last of the Mohicans.
God damn it, I had that theme in my mind again. Thank you.
Which theme?
Last of the Mohican.
Oh, I'm sorry. You mean that overly Irish theme? I kind of liked CSI. I thought it was better in its first 3 seasons. And after that, I've just stopped watching. I watched because of him. Because of 2 movies, I became a fan of this guy, William Petersen. Technically, it's just the 2 movies. It was this film and the other one we did on Wednesday.
Thief?
Now, what was the other film we did that he was in? The serial killer one.
Manhunter. Yeah.
I love those 2 films, and Petersen was on my radar. I said, he's such a weird, odd leading man, but he's good. I like watching him. He has a certain, like Willem Dafoe, man. This film launched both their careers. And I think that's great because Dafoe had done other stuff. Shit, he was in fucking the City on Fire one where he's a bike gang member. It's got the music and shit in it. City on Fire, some shit like that. Thanks for not helping me, guys.
I have no idea what you're talking about. You know that.
We can click on Willem Dafoe. I'll do it. Interrupt the show and just go look for myself because he was in that movie and it should have launched his career.
Streets of Fire?
Streets of Fire. Yeah, I said City of Fire. It should have triggered that for you. Streets of Fire should have been the launching feature for him, but the movie tanked like bad. It had a hit song. That couldn't save the movie. But I would agree with you. After season 3, I didn't like the show.
I never got into it.
Bumpy says Gambit the First. None of the CSI shows were very, very good, especially coming from a criminal. Oh, it's not realistic at all. That show ended up leading so many people to believing scientific bullshit. It's just bullshit. And CSI New York was, even though I watched that show because I'm a fan of the guy that was the star of the show. I've worked with
Gary Sinise.
Gary Sinise. I've worked with him on No Better Place to Die. And guy's a great dude, man. Actually, technically, we started working with him with City of Fire that we did that when we were going to shoot that over in Kurdistan, one of the films I was working on. And Gary Sinise was directly involved, and Tom was interested, but he wanted to see where it was going to go. And then, of course, Kurdistan collapsed, and so no movie, because the country of Kurdistan was going to pay for it. They wanted to break from Iraq. Let's see. Yeah, the dates in the film match up to real dates from 1984 and 1985. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier because I'm one of those weirdos that likes to look up the dates. If a movie shows a date, I look it up and see which year the story is supposed to be taking place in. It was shot for 2 months. There's even a moment where it says January, I think 24th, Saturday. It said Saturday, January 24th. So that was important. So I went and looked up January 24th on a Saturday or a Sunday, whatever it was. I just remember looking it up and it was correct. Let's see. Gary Sinise is one of my favorite actors. Oh, he's great, man. He and John Malkovich came up together. They were friends. They're still Malkovich. And they were not just like guys that worked together on stage. They co-ran a theater in Chicago and absolutely were close friends and still are to this day. October 1984 was when I became an emancipated minor. That's interesting, Alpha. I would like to find out more about that.
Would you like to know more?
Yeah, would you like to know more? Click now. It is the Mount Everest of filmmaking. Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. Gambit, yeah, the shows were essentially sold on the primary actor, although Paul Guilfoyle is an underrated actor. Steppenwolf Theater, that's it. Thanks, buddy. I couldn't remember the name of it, but they ran that theater for a while. They were like stage directors or whatever you call them, and they put out some good productions. And then they co-starred together in one of what I consider to be the best adaptation of Mice and Men. I love that film. I showed the scene where Sinise puts the bullet in his head at the end. And what did you think of that, Anima, when I showed that to you? They're acting.
I don't know what you mean. I'm sorry.
Well, you reacted to it. You're like, oh, that's intense. And I went, yeah. Because he doesn't want them to, he knows he's going to be tortured and hanged for what he did, even though he's purely innocently did what he did. He didn't mean to hurt anybody. And he's just mentally retarded, you know? And so he didn't want that to happen. This scene right here, this shot, let's go back to that. I was blown away by this shot. Now, most people will go,
oh, that is so
why?
Cool. Yeah.
And the way this has got shit done to it, I don't like, because you can't see what I'm talking about at all in this single image here, because the logo, the words, and the art effects that are done to it, absolutely. Do you have a raw version of this image, Martin?
I should. Give me a
Look
second.
to see if you have the raw image, and I want to bring that up because what he did here was so fucking cool as a director that knows his fucking camera. And that's the thing. He worked with this guy, and the guy's main job as the director of photography was lighting these scenes, striking them the way the director wanted them. The director is the one who actually set up all these shots, Friedkin. Every single shot in this film was his idea. And that's why he wanted to work with this guy, because he understood the way Friedkin worked and liked it. And so they got along really well because it was a TV movie. I can't remember what the fuck it was, but they had worked together and they had this great conversation. And as I recall, he was, what the fuck did he do before? I'm going to go look it up real quick because I can't remember what film it was that they got into a conversation.
Friedkin definitely knew how to pick his DPs.
Absolutely. And again, you'll see a lot of similarity with Michael Mann as well, because Robbie Mueller, of course, was the DP on this. And what was the movie that he did before this? Let me get back to the 80s. All right, here we go. 85. Oh, I like the movie The Believers. That's a trippy film. Barfly's a good movie, too.
Gary, I found it for you.
What was it?
Pulling it up.
Because he worked, I think he was doing gaffing work on a film.
Wait, then I had one that looks a little better.
Okay, that does look better. Okay, so he walks into the room and you're tricked visually. You're tricked into thinking he's coming towards the camera. But then you discover as he walks in past the camera, it's a mirror wall. Okay, hold on. Then where the fuck is the camera? And I know exactly where it is. It is behind her. And this was a tight shot. So tight, you can see the end of the plate that the camera is mounted on stick out right past her hip, just a slight bit. And I pointed at it while we were watching it. And I said, watch. When she moves, it won't move. And she moved turning towards him, and it's disappeared behind her. I said, that's the mount for the camera. That's how. Do
you see my cursor? Because I'm right there.
Right there. That is where it's at. There. And I was shocked at how good that was. Let me see if I can just enlarge it here. Let's do that. Can you see the show again, sweetheart? Where it would be.
Right there.
Hold on, stop. Piece. There you go. Perfect. There's a little black piece behind her, and it disappears when she turns. And I'm like, that's the camera mount. This is a brilliant fucking shot. And it's so trippy because you see him walking towards you, but you see reflections too. So you have a visual warning that that's a mirror, but you don't register it until he appears to the right of the camera and walks onto the set and then walks to the mirror. I fucking love that shot.
It is very trippy.
I fucking love it. Sorry, dude. I'll do it. I'm doing it. I was trying to do it. There we go.
We all worked on, I think. All three of us.
See, I love. Oh, dude, look, I haven't even really gotten into what happened. Okay, so the props master for this film, who played one of the agents at the beginning of the movie, he was in charge of all that money, and they had to have special security for it because the Secret Service were up their ass, because this is the first movie to photograph money. And they didn't like that. There was a law before, you can't photograph money. This movie's the first one. And worse than that, they were working with an actual counterfeiter. And that was freaking them out. So there was a moment where they were printing money, and William Petersen said, and we suddenly heard helicopters all around. The Secret Service were outside getting ready to land and come in there. And they kept an eye, and they had to have special security. The prop master had to get special security for the money. and ended up there was a fuck up. And one of the guys that worked in the props department took some of the fake bills home. And his kid thought it'd be really cool to go try to spend it. Now, this is only printed on one side. And he tried to spend it. Next thing you know, he's fucking arrested by the Secret Service. And the prop master got pulled in 3 times during this film. And after the 3rd time, he went to confront Friedkin about it. He says, this can't keep going, man. They keep taking me in and questioning me about what I'm doing, what we're doing in this film, and it's freaking the Secret Service out. And Friedkin, not understanding the difference between, local state police and federal, goes, well, just tell them to charge next time. Just tell them to charge you or let you go. And he's like, what? No, because a lot of people don't know this. And I don't know if Friedkin knew it. Apparently, I doubt he did, that if you get charged and arrested and sent to prison, if you're given a certain amount of time in a federal court, there's no getting off early for good behavior. You're going to that term. Whatever term they give you, you get out. The only people who've ever gotten out early are people that the federal government wanted to make a deal with. And they had something that they wanted. That's it. If you go to federal prison, and I know, Alpha, you know this too. You're going to spend the time with whatever you were given in court. Rick Masters loves what he's doing, which is counterfeiting. Let's see. Oh, yeah, he's an artist. And as you can tell, from the very first scene with him, he's a tortured artist, which is why he burns things. If it's not perfect, he destroys it. He's one of those actors that always serves a role well, can play a sympathetic good guy, can play a cruel and vicious villain. Absolutely. I'll tell you, man, one of my favorite moments on screen with him was a fucking Marvel movie, in the Spider-Man movie where they had all 3 Spider-Man characters together. And he comes back to play the part of Osborn. And that moment where he's been friendly and jovial and just being the great guy, but Spider-Man figures out that he's the one doing everything bad. When he switches roles, when his eyes go ice, I was like, God damn, that guy knows how to do it. That guy really fucking knows how to fucking act. Willem Dafoe is one of my favorite actors of all time. He manipulates the money with X. I'd better check him out on Wikipedia. Let's see. You'll probably recognize him as soon as you see him. Okay, Secret Service found out about printing money stuff. Oh, they found out and were not happy. And they were present at the destruction of the money. They didn't say that in the making of. I just know that from what was going on at the time when they made this film, because we read magazines, and that was our internet magazines. We'd read the crap out of them, man, and you'd see mentions of things. And yeah, they were up this movie's ass. It sure happened during the making of this movie. Absolutely it did. Secret Service observed Friedkin and his crew from a distance. They eventually had guys coming onto the set, though, physically on the set. When the money was present, there were agents on set.
Yeah, but the prop guy still managed to take some home, and his kids found it and went to buy snacks with it.
That's what I was talking about. And they got arrested by the Secret Service. And
that's you don't take a prop like that home.
No,
I know stealing from set is pretty common, but not prop money.
Negotiating with these people. And Friedkin's a hard ass. He's one of those guys. He's from Chicago, but Chicago, like New Yorkers, don't take shit off people. And he would be like, he was very argumentative. He was argumentative with the fucking studio. He's like, this isn't your fucking money funding this. It's going to end the way I say it ends. I did the scene for you. That's it. The airport had prohibited this action. Oh, no. Let's get into that one, Anima, because that was one of your favorite moments.
Yeah.
Doing the fucking chase through the airport. All right, we're going to talk about it, Gambit. Let's go, Anima.
Yeah. So they planned that he would jump up there and run up there on the divider between the two lanes. And they told him, no, you can't do that. You cannot do that. So I think it was Friedkin who told him, I will tell you not to do that. And then we start the scene and you do whatever.
I'm going to say it so they can hear me. I'm going to say it where they can hear me. Okay, now don't go jumping up there. He's okay. Action. And he runs and he did it. And he did it. Because Friedkin said, just go ahead and do it. But I have to say for them to hear, I told you not to.
Yeah.
And then
they finished the shot, and Friedkin's like, I told you not to do that.
Right.
Completely.
And then the guys from the airport are freaking out. We told you not to do that. And of course, Petersen, being an actor, goes, oh man, I'm so sorry. I was in my head, man. I'm sorry. I've been practicing it that way.
Yeah.
And so they shot more of the chase not doing it to appease them. But that's the print they use, is him jumping up there in front of the airport management. And fucking they freaked out. That is so funny. Hey, let's see. What's this? Our buddy in New Zealand. Yeah. What's up, RNT&Z? Haven't seen you in a while, buddy. Watched this last weekend, essentially Miami Vice in LA. Could have been a Michael Mann film. Oh, dude, you got to stick around, dude. I've been talking about this, that Michael Mann is absolutely an acolyte of William Friedkin. He's never said it, but if you take notice of his association and connections with William Friedkin, it's there. Now, I believe that Friedkin is the better director of the two, obviously, but that doesn't mean Mann's bad. I mean, he does some really good shit, but they were, the two of them, cinematically, along with Manhunter, being included in this, were the guys who gave the 80s their look. This is these films gave the look that everybody thinks about when they think about the 80s. And then the next one that does it is Miami Vice, which of course, Mann's association is a producer on it. So it's fucking crazy, dude. Yeah, great comment. Thank you for the New Zealand $5, buddy. Every little bit counts with us.
Thanks for 5 TVs.
For you, I'm going to give you this one. One of my favorite videos.
And now a word from our sponsor, Gary's Wholesale Sausage Emporium. Are retail hot dog prices making you crazy? Come on down to Gary's for all your discount dog needs. Was this really the best we could do?
Blue Apron passed.
Okay. Let's get vulnerable, Langley. Let's get sexy. First caller gets 11 feet of Gary's signature summer sausage.
Yeah, baby. So I paused it because I wanted to show something here. So let me go back. This chick is the actual villain of the film. And if you don't pay attention, you will completely miss it. Martin and I were talking about it before the show. And absolutely nuts that she not only gets away, but she gets the girl.
Mm.
And the girl, of course, is what is her name? Jane Leaves, who's best known for playing Daphne on Frasier. Hot as fucking shit in this, in lingerie. And so she drives off with her, like they're now like, that's the partner she's always wanted, kind of thing. And it was gifted to her by Willem Dafoe's character before the end of the film. Look what I brought you. And so they drive off together in the little sports car. That's fucking great, and it's so trippy. And here he is, the lawyer talking to her. That's all that got left to you, and she doesn't care. It's all their sex videos.
And the final confirmation is when the lawyer asks her, why do you, I can understand why you were with him for so long. And said, why do you work with him? for him, I said, "Oh, it's strictly business," and she just smiles.
Yep, it was all business. And so this is an important moment in the film because the shocking moment of the shot. And by the way, I Martin and I talked about this for the show. Just how shocked we were seeing in the movie theater on opening Friday in Fredericksburg, Virginia, at the Virginia theaters when it opened. And I'm sitting there, and I swear to God, man, my head jerked back, and I'm like what? Like what just happened? What? And I'm like in my head, like wondering, was that a dream? What's happening here? There's no way. And I'm like, and I'm wearing my Casio watch. I had one of those Casio watches from 1983. It was one of those really nice ones, nice Casios, but it had the little button on the top right, and you pushed it, and it lit up so you could see the time, because it wasn't the old Casio where the numbers were lit up. This time it's the LCD screen, the liquid crystal. So I like in the theater trying to hide it and cover my hand over it. I'm looking, and I'm like, this movie has 10 minutes left. You can't kill the protagonist with 10 minutes left in the film. What the fuck?
That's what the studio said, hence the alternative ending.
Yeah, I was so fucking shocked. And it took me back to another moment in film, which is funny because William Friedkin mentioned it in one of the interviews we watched, that the only other film to really do something like that was Psycho, where you meet Janet Leigh. She's your protagonist. We're going to follow her through this movie. No, we're going to murder her before the end of the first act. And now the protagonist is the killer, because you have empathy for the killer. It's pretty trippy. Oh, we lost Anima.
But her connection was being wobbly. She was roboting and else. Now, I wasn't that shocked when I saw the scene. All that I said was shit.
It kicked me. Why did it do that?
I don't know. You just dropped that all of a sudden. I like this one.
Yeah, it froze, and then I was in the lobby.
Alpha said that Secret Service once tried to almost arrested him, which means he wasn't arrested, but was almost arrested. The actor told Friedkin, yeah, I know about this. This is what we were talking about. And what they did is that's right. They acted like it was a rehearsal, but he told the cameraman to roll film. So they recorded him doing the stunt, jumping up on top of the thing, and the airport officials got pissed and were yelling at him, and he's apologizing. It's Friedkin. They heard Friedkin tell him not to do it, but he did it anyway, and he's like, I'm so sorry.
And they heard him telling him off after the thing.
Yeah,
so
and Friedkin's yelling, I told you not to do that.
Yeah.
And then he walked over and whispered to him. He says, "No, just we're going to do the scene. But this time you'll run through the crowd and we'll film it, and they'll be good." And so they do that.
Then we can we?
And then they didn't use that footage. They used the footage of him going up there, which, of course, I guarantee you pissed off that airport.
Yeah, probably.
Because their concern was that people would think it's okay to do that. Due to Miami Vice being the hottest thing back then, it really was. Man, they had some of the best guest stars on that show. And I love the cast. What was the great about Friedkin was that he never gave up and never kowtowed to any kind of submission from Hollywood. Absolutely. He was a fighter. That guy, because I tell people all the time, the closest thing to a New Yorker is a fucking person from Chicago. They will fucking fight. And I don't know, it's because the mass number of Irish and Polish there. But God, Chicagoans like fighting. What was so great? Yeah. And let's see, cinema du look was the term the French used in the 80s. Because the feel of those movies was brand new and rejected certain conventions from the past. Well, it's like when Michael Mann made Thief, he didn't see it as a noir or neo-noir film, but it is. It is what it is. Whether that was your intent or not, doesn't matter. The Departed does something similar. Oh yeah, I like The Departed, which is kind of a quasi remake of a Chinese film. Fuck, it's got a weird name. I like the film, but I prefer The Departed because it has more of a story to it that I understand and can appreciate. And we should do it sometime because I really do like that film. To satisfy the studio heads, he shot a second ending in which, yeah, it's one I was already talking about. Yeah, I talked about all of that. How long is this movie? Yeah, it's over now. We're done. Because basically what ends up happening at the end is that John Pankow's character, Vukovich, becomes a new version of Richard Chance because he survived this ordeal. And when he shows up at Bianca's, no, not Bianca. What character? Ruth. She's not a snitch. She got called a snitch. She's not a snitch. She's a confidential informant. You can call it snitch if you want to, but she is actually hired and paid to do these things, to use her connections, to get them information. And he's angry. Vukovich is angry at her because you set us up. Is basically, you knew he was a Fed. That there was never any money in that case.
Well, she's that. not only is she paid, she's out on parole because she agreed to that deal. So she's getting ready to leave, packing her bag, and he's there to take over that role as being her controller. And you know, that look he gives her, and then you hear the theme start, and it's like, yep, you ain't going anywhere, bitch. Well, that's what he says to her. You work for me now.
You work for me.
And he has some serious sunglasses on.
And they cut to Petersen's face.
The sentiment was echoed by writer David Anson of Newsweek, writing, shot with gritty flamboyance by Robbie Mueller, cast with a fine eye for fresh, tough guys' faces to live and die in L.A. Where's the next one? Maybe Fake Savage. I'll find it. There we go. But it's fun. Yeah. Roger Ebert, film critic for Chicago Sun-Times. No fucking way. Really? I didn't know that. Gave the film 4 out of 4 stars, praising the car chase and calling the film first rate. And again, the chase scene, he told Buddy, the stunt director for the car scenes, he said, if this is not better than French Connection, it's not going into film. And apparently it was better than French Connection in even his opinion. And
What's
agree.
What's the movie where he has the New York car chase?
That's French Connection, the French Connection.
Yeah, because he said, yeah, let's make an LA version of this.
Yeah. So that's the movie. Thanks, Shinatsky. Infernal Affairs. I think that's just a dumb name. It's such a.
Why are you in chat and not on the panel, Shen? We missed you today.
Yeah, he's. I'm in the car. Been killing rats and bugs all day.
It's Saturday.
I smell like guts.
You know how serial killers start, no? By killing small animals.
Small animals.
Well, yeah.
And that's what eventually he'll be known as, Shinatsky the Killer.
Yeah.
Why aren't you here? It is Saturday, buddy. What's going on, man?
Now he comes on.
Say the devil's name and his head pops up. There you go.
Yeah, but we're about to rap, right?
Only because Anima asked.
That's only when you're in front of a convex mirror that you say that, and it works. It can't be any mirror. It's got to be a convex one.
No, it works with Beetlejuice without mirrors.
It's one of those ones that when you put your face in, it goes all pinched in the middle. Shinatsky, what did you think of this film?
It's a good one. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Sorry, we're talking about Infernal. is the Asian. That's the one. Departed is quasi based on it. And what he did is he took a real criminal. What's his name? Something White, Irish.
Buggy
White.
What was it?
Buggy.
Buggy White? No, I don't think that's right. You've been killing bugs too much today. You got Buggy on the brain. Travis, my buddy Travis is actually the one that does rats and that. I can't remember what you do. You set up traps, right? Isn't that what you do?
Whitey Bulger.
Whitey Bulger. That's it. And so Jack Nicholson's character is loosely based on him. It's a great fucking film. And it has one of the funniest scenes that would have been funnier if they had allowed the entire scene to go the way Jack Nicholson did it. And it's so funny because Matt Damon, and I have the video around. When we do the film, I'll show him tell the story of how the beach scene originally was supposed to go, the way Nicholson said it should go, and then the way it ended up in the film.
We did.
We did. We haven't done
The
that.
Departed.
I haven't done it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do this again because I don't remember ever doing that film.
We did it, and the chief did it.
Yeah, if you keep the camera rolling.
Yeah.
You played that
we
clip
did that
during the
movie.
show, Gary.
Yeah.
However,
Even I remember.
Tom and I did it when Tom was on.
I am willing to do that show again. I
wouldn't mind doing it again because that was a Tom and Gary show. We should do it again as a regular piece. So we'll do it. We'll do it because I would love to talk about that film again. There's so many things about that film that I love. Like at the end, a lot of people don't understand the rat.
Yeah, the rat and the Capitol.
Yeah, it's like there's a reason that's there. People are like so focused on how did Marky Mark know to kill him. I'm like, it's fucking obvious. The girlfriend heard the tape, the recording, and she turned it over to him because she knew he was the only one left that she could trust. And so he fucking killed him for that reason. And I fucking love that. I love that ending. But the rat goes on.
The real reason he killed him, he said, "Hey, aren't you Marky Mark?" Boom.
I'm motherfucker. Like, hey, was that your real penis in that movie?
Boom.
Like, I got to tell you, I like Mark Wahlberg. The guy can't act worth a shit, but he's good. He's fun to watch, but he's a terrible actor. His brother, on the other hand, holy shit, that guy can act. I didn't even know
Donnie?
that was him. Yeah, Donnie.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was him in The Sixth Sense until much later. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And I went back to watch it on a DVD. It had come out on DVD before I realized that was him. And blew my fucking mind. Donnie can fucking act. Mark Wahlberg. I love the guy. I really do. I have a lot of respect for that guy.
He has it in his contracts that nobody is supposed to call him Marky Mark.
and yet, in the movie, is it 22 Mile or Mile 22, the action film where they got to get that guy to an airplane and their operators that work for the CIA. You got to get this guy out of the country and get him on that plane. And that guy, it's the dude from The Raid, and he turns around to Mark Wahlberg and says, "Say hello to your mother." And nobody fucking laughed in that theater. And I'm fucking barking out laughing because I get that. I don't even think they intended it as a joke. It's funny as fuck that he allowed that in a movie with him.
You're easy to entertain, though, Gary.
Yeah, I don't find it that funny.
That he was known and made fun of for always saying, say hello to your mother. Say hello to your mother.
I thought it was word to your mother.
No, that was in a song. He said, say hello to your mother. And eventually Adam Sandberg started doing a Mark Wahlberg skit. Mark Wahlberg talks to animals. And he goes, hey, ostrich, I like you. You got great legs. All right, I got to move on. Say hello to you. Say hi to your mother. And Mark Wahlberg was irritated by it at first, but then he came on the show and then he played into it. And I thought it was hilarious. And then he does that fucking movie with your mother. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. How is that not fucking funny? Because he's sort of like quasi making fun of himself. And he probably doesn't even know he's doing it in this movie, letting that be said to him. That's fucking hilarious. I still think they should have made a sequel following Wahlberg's character. Oh, absolutely. Peter Berg is like, first of all, I'm a big fan of Peter Berg's directing. I like his movies, starting all the way back with The Rundown. I fucking love that movie. I am not a Rock fan. I fucking enjoyed The Rock in that movie. That was a fun movie. And I'm also a big fan of Sean William Scott. I think he's far better than he gets treated by Hollywood. They're shitty to that guy. This shithole, fuck yourself. I'm tired of fucking your wife. How's your mother? Good. She's tired of fucking my mother. Ha 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 ha. I find those lines from The Departed extremely comical. Yeah. Especially when said by him. Oh no, you're talking, that's the scene where, what's his name? The Italian kid has almost gets into a fight with Mark Wahlberg. D, whatever his name is. That was in Titanic. Oh no, I meant to write she's tired from fucking my father. It makes it even funnier that you fucked it up. Say hello to your mother. Right? You know, I fucking love that. That he actually says it at the end of the movie. If Wahlberg became Iron Man, the next armor would be Marky Mark.
They had a Thanos for me.
You say hi to Thanos for me. Oh my God, that's funny. Like the Great White Hype with him. Oh, that movie? Yes. Good movie. Good movie. Yeah, DiCaprio. Thank you, Vinkman's girl. I appreciate that.
Mark Wahlberg proves that there's a difference between being a movie star and an actor.
Oh, yeah. But what's interesting is he ends up having really good chemistry with other people. I don't know why. I fucking love the comedies between him and fucking Will Ferrell, and I'm not a Will Ferrell fan. I like the dad one. I like the sequel that had Mel Gibson and John Lithgow as their dads. Like Mel Gibson is Mark Wahlberg's dad, and John Lithgow is Will Ferrell's, which explains why he's such a sissy. You know, oh, I fucking love that. And I laughed my ass off at the other guys.
It's kind of interesting why there's some people we just tolerate not being really acting at all. Like Danny Trejo. Everyone loves Danny Trejo. Danny Trejo is Danny Trejo in every Danny Trejo role.
Well, his character on Hit was called Trejo. So
yeah, literally.
By the way, yeah, I'm not a fan of the movie Titanic. I love the effects, and that's it.
Fuck Titanic.
Jim Cameron's Ego, the movie.
Yeah. He did one movie in that latter stage that I liked, which was True Lies. The rest of it was crap. I didn't like Avatar. I didn't like Titanic. Yeah, pretty much fuck Cameron. And he's gotten so fucking weird that, you know, going in and using AI to pull out film grain, smoothing the film grain, makes everything look like plastic. He loves it.
He's got some really weird neurosis, because if you look at his filmography as like almost like a form of psychoanalysis, he's got some really weird issues. Like he idealizes soldiers but hates the military.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's just get another comment here from Gamut. And I do mean Jack and Rose because they are so ill-placed. It's so stupid. That whole story. They're in love. It's like, you guys fucked. You know,
Rose is the big villain of the film.
She is. Because at any point she could have helped her husband and her kids with that fucking, like, why did it have to be thrown down there? It didn't belong to him. Oh, he got, they claimed he stole it. It's like, oh, go fuck yourself. She's a fucking horrible person. Rose is. Billy Zane was fucking fun in that movie. I don't like Billy Zane as a person because when we were at war, he was making films over in Turkey.
Whoops. We lost.
Damn you, you two. You got rid of the only person I like on the panel. Wait, did I say that loud?
But Billy Zane is a good actor. The only film I really hated him in was Sniper. Because just his character, the way he acted, I just couldn't stand that. The character made no sense to me either.
I have
Terminator are just absolutely hell in place. I'm right there with you. Look, Tom and Fanzine both have gone into the physical media issues with James Cameron, that he is putting out garbage, pure fucking garbage. The only thing of value on those Blu-rays and the 4Ks are the special features. Fucking removing film grain.
It's weird. He's supposed to be the big tech head, and yet if you look at the technicals behind, like especially a lot of his earlier movies, he did not use the best film stock. They used the cheap film stock, which is why they're grainier than other films at the time. Whatever. He got to do his Blue Smurf People movie for the last like 25 years.
Yeah. Well, I said that when the movie came out. I said I preferred this story when it was just the Smurfs. But other people brought out other films that he's kind of stealing from too. And I'm like, yeah, but it really looks, they're blue, for God's sakes.
Oh, no.
The cliche of romance against epic historical action. Yeah, I fucking hate that. And exactly, they echoed the same thing in Pearl Harbor and ruined it. And Enemy at the Gates was ruined by the fact that they refused to show the scene when he shot Koenig. He shot Koenig the way the sniper does in Saving Private Ryan, right through his scope. He shot where he saw the glimmer of light, and it went through the scope. And instead, they give it a Western ending. Fuck off. Pearl Harbor, you had two real pilots that actually got up in the air that day. And what do? They fuck around with it, and they create this love triangle with a nurse.
Well, one of my favorite fan theories is that Awa, the little spirit thing in Avatar, is actually a mycelial parasite.
Ew. That's gross.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah, no, it's actually this evil creature that's hijacked all the life forms on that planet and is actively controlling them.
Yeah, that's fucking scary. T2 is smooth to death, and Terminator is basically fake 4K upscaling. I'm not going to argue with anything you're saying, buddy. Not at all. Same with Pearl Harbor. Yeah, it's exactly. That's what, Alpha brought that up too, that, they did the exact same thing with that. What was the other film that you brought up?
Guys,
Enemy at the Gates. Yeah.
Guys, I need to go. We've been doing for 2.5. And
yeah, we can end this.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. We are done.
And
usually they tell me when we've gone to 2:50, 2 hours and 15 minutes. Nobody said anything to me. So I'm like, oh, I didn't realize it was 2:30. I'm paying attention to the chat and running the show, not the time. So, all right, guys, we're going to get out of here. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us. Gambit, Snorty, Ann Run, Shirley Levasseur, Penny, Davey Dread, Slasher Fred, E. Clay Thomason, 11 Alpha, the Comic Relief Crusader, my buddy Mike, Read by Nature, Gussie Goro 2469, new one. Welcome to the show. Hope you subscribe. Sandra Hammerschlag, Vinkman's Girl, Hail in Place, Bumpy Johnson, Eric Jr., I'll just say that. Eric Jr., RRT&Z popped in, and thank you for the $5 New Zealand super chat, buddy. I appreciate it, man. Let's see. And that's it. Lord Thoth popped in here right at the end. So we will get out of here. I want to wish everybody a happy Saturday. I will see you guys a little bit later. And because we'll be doing a show on Monday. I forget what the hell we're doing. I plan them out, and then I don't retain them in my memory. That's how my brain works. So, yeah, Martin's already got Gambit, but he knows. He said bye to you guys, and he appreciates everybody here. So we're out of here, too. I guess we'll see you later, man. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Y'all come back now. You hear? Matt Damon.